Alright, YouTube, we're going to make another video while we wait on the excavator to warm up. We bought this Takeuchi a couple weeks back. We demoed a John Deere and a Cat and this machine. We're going to give you my opinion on it, and free unsolicited opinions. You know how those go. Okay, but it's the heaviest machine out of the three we demoed. It's a high flow. The machine has the highest tipping capacity out of any of the three that we looked at. I think it's rated at about 113 horsepower. The John Deere was rated at 96, and the Cat was 113, 110, 115, something like that. But my opinion, this was the heaviest built machine. There's a lot more steel in it. The cab is not as nice. You don't have a cloth seat. The controls are a little getting used to if you run an excavator very much. The bucket function control joystick is tilted in like an excavator control is, but the travel control is not. We got ride control on the machine, and that's a really nice function if you're looking at one. I would recommend spending the extra money for that. If you get excuse me, if you get high flow, it comes standard with a 1/2-inch Lexan glass. The hydraulic quick hitch, some of the other ones are electric, but that's hydraulic. You've got your high flow, standard flow, and then an auxiliary standard. The undercarriage is a little bit longer than most. If you look at John Deere and Cat's front idler design, theirs is, it's got a carriage that slides in and out on the inside of the track frame, as where the Takeuchi's is set up just like an excavator. And because of that, you're going to get a little bit of noise whenever you're traveling with that idler floating inside that track frame. One nice thing about it, when you're filling a machine with diesel fuel or DEF fluid, I know I've done it, I'm sure most of y'all have. You're filling it with fuel and all of a sudden it burps and blows fuel all over you because you didn't know when it was full. Well, this one, you hit the button, if the switch is on, you'll hit the fuel button and it'll beep at you, beep, 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 and then when it gets full, it just beep, so you don't spill fuel all over your machine. We hadn't washed it yet, but whenever you get one, if you get one, this is a lift cylinder pin. This is the linkage pin for the vertical lift. When we got ours, those two pins right there probably took, and I may be a little off, but they probably took a 1/4 tube of grease, each one of them. So we probably ran a tube of grease out on the 4 pins whenever it was new. And you can look down here and see how big the pin bosses are, which led me to believe that there's a lot more steel in this machine than the other ones. The radiator, you pop these 2 bolts out, the radiator will swing out. You may need to remove a radiator hose, but you've got access to the whole back of the engine with this radiator swung out. You tilt the cab up, and then you've got access to the whole front of the machine. And what you need to do to tilt the cab up is there's a bolt right there and one right there. Take those two bolts up, cab comes back, and when you come back here to the back, this pin right here will go through that point right here and lock the cab in the raised position, so you can get on it or get under the cab, and then you've got access to all of your pumps, your filters, your tank, your hydraulic tank, your fuel tank, def tank. But that's a little bit better view of your lift cylinder, and that's a massive lift cylinder. But overall, for what we do, we don't do any mulching with a machine like this. It's all dirt work. And the first machine I ever had was a Cat 943 track loader, and I used to kind of snicker at these guys when they'd say, "Oh, I bought a TL12 and it's a tank." Well, we bought this thing to replace a Case 550G, and I'm under the impression that a man who knows what he's doing can move and spread more dirt on one of these than he can with a 75 horsepower dozer. I may be wrong, but if anybody wants to take me up on it, we'll give it a shot. Like, share, follow. You guys got any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll get you the answer the best way I can. But this is our new TL12, and in a little while we may do one on this SK210. All right, thank y'all.